the best way to get a bestseller on Etsy is to find somebody else who's making a bestseller, copy it, and throw it out there. If you take that advice from somebody, you're headed for failure, because they already have the ranking on Etsy. They're already up there. And when somebody pulls up, let's say they're searching for a mom sweatshirt, they're going to see the bestseller first. They're going to have the bestseller tag beside of it. And yours, unless you've got something so amazing that's going to stand out way above theirs, very likely won't get seen. So I'm going to talk to you today about some mistakes, some things not to do, mistakes that I've made, and hopefully we can continue moving forward on building our Etsy shops to be so successful. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Kim. I've been selling print on demand for about 2 years. I have been semi-successful, but I am on my way to building my shop so I can be a 6 or 7 figure Etsy seller. Does that sound crazy? Not to me, because I know that if I have a positive mindset, that I am going to act that way and I'm going to move forward, because there's only 2 ways, success or failure. I choose success. The first thing I want to say is there's a possibility that I may step on some toes. I don't mean to, but I have to say there are some things that are really strong do's and don'ts within the Etsy world and doing print on demand. The first thing I truly believe is it should be your passion. If you're just doing this for quick money, it's not going to work. Whatever amount of time that you have to work on it, you should be completely focused on making the very best designs, because that's what you want to do. It is not passive in the sense that you don't have to work on it. Once your store is set up, once you have some good designs in there, if you know, those things, those can become passive income. The thing is with Etsy, if you're not constantly working on your store even a little bit every day, your store is not going to get noticed as much. Etsy pushes out those stores that really are active. So you can't be passive about it. You can't just throw out 100 designs and then sit back and go, okay, now I work from home and that's it. Everything's going to happen and come rolling in just like the videos say. I will guarantee you, everybody that you see in the videos have put so many hours, so much of their heart and soul into it. And I know that because I do that. And it's taken me a while to get my focus and to realize that I can't just see every design and grab it and throw it on a shirt. I'm going through my store right now and I'm looking at these designs and I'm thinking, holy moly, what was I thinking? And some of my oldest designs, they don't have tags, they don't have model mock-ups, which, trust me, is so important. People shop with their eyes. Why did I think that my listings were going to get noticed without any tags or keywords or a description that was anything other that was straight from my print provider? It is only passive on each item that you get set up properly. But the work is work, but it can also be joy if it is your passion. There are certain things that I have found for myself that I 100% believe in and will not change the way that I do. Number one, I will not list another thing without putting a good mock-up, and that is a model mock-up. That is not a model mock-up that is from the print provider, because they're not optimized for Etsy. They're just showing you where the placement of your design will be on the shirt. And that is also very important. But you need to invest in yourself, invest in your business, and go find those mock-ups on Etsy. There's some amazing stores, and purchase mock-ups to put your designs on. I will not list another thing without putting keywords. I will not list another thing without filling out my description. These things are important. This is the biggest thing that I can say to you, because I had a store that, my cat again, had 3,000 listings, and very few of them were really that great. And in my mind, I thought, I just need to go start a brand new store. But I do that because I felt so overwhelmed, and I felt like, how am I going to ever fix these old listings? Start today with the best listings that you can do, and challenge yourself to put the best things out there, and then slowly work on those listings that either need to be deleted, deactivated, or the design needs to be updated. So don't just give up. Don't just think I need to start a brand new store. You can revive the one that you're working in. And if you're starting brand new, then the very first design you do, make it the best that you can. I promise you, you're going to get better. So don't get hung up on whether the design is perfect. If you've researched it, and if you feel like that you're putting the very best out there, it's going to be great. You're going to revisit it in a few months or maybe a year, and you're going to do like I did and say, well, it definitely needs to be redone. And that's okay. That's how we learn. Another thing is, I'm looking at my notes. It's, if you start off halfway, and this kind of touches on what I said, you're going to continue halfway. There was a time I was putting sometimes 20 designs in my shop a day, and I always told myself, I'll go back and fix them. I'll go back and put new mock-ups. And it became so overwhelming, because then I knew I had to go to Canva, which is where I do my mock-ups, and I was going to have to make mock-ups for all the colors, and I just basically gave up. I gave up on my shop and essentially gave up on myself. And that's not a way to be successful. And when I say successful, I don't necessarily mean financially. Of course, that's our goal, but we need to develop and work on things that we can be proud of. And that's the goal here. Now, another thing is, I use AI in some form in my shop every day, whether I use ChatGPT to get ideas for designs, whether I use ChatGPT to give me maybe funny quotes, or use ChatGPT to come up with my description. And there is still a human element there. If you're doing that and you're grabbing some funny phrase that the computer thinks is funny and you're not researching it, then you are failing right there. And I'm sorry to put it that way, but it just is how it is. Another thing that I do is I use AI for generating designs. Now, I am an artist, and I have been since, well, more than 40 years. Sometimes I generate AI designs so I can take it to my iPad and redraw them. And that sometimes I just need sort of a starting point, like a little beginning kind of idea. And sometimes it comes out with something really great. But if you take a design straight out of whatever AI image generator that you've got, if you do not upscale it, if you do not remove the background, which is huge, if you don't check to see that the fingers don't have too many fingers or too many arms, or that, you know, if you're making a, I don't know, just an animal and it doesn't have the right kind of tail, people will see it. Because remember, let's say you're making a raccoon, which I always go to, and the raccoon has a squirrel tail. People that love raccoons are searching for raccoon shirts. They're not going to buy a raccoon with a squirrel tail. Don't be lazy. AI can be such an amazing and powerful tool, but it also can destroy the look of your store. It's very obvious sometimes when things are created by AI. I will say that the AI generator for images that I have really fallen in love with is in Kittl. And Kittl is, I can't say enough good things about Kittl. Kittl is an amazing website to use to, they have templates that you can use and change. They have elements that you can add to your design. They have so many fonts, and they have an amazing AI art generator. You can take that art, you can remove the background in there, you can vectorize it, which makes it so you can make it bigger or smaller and it doesn't distort it. It even has an image enhancer now. I can't say enough about it. If you would like another video to be made to talk more about Kittl, I would love to do that. So just drop me a comment. So use these things as helpers. Do not use them as your final output. People will know, I promise you. And if you're generating an image and it's square and you don't remove the background, there are very few designs that actually work like that. And I promise you, no matter how good the graphics are, they're going to get overlooked. Really put your heart and soul into it. Using AI is not lazy, but using AI straight out of the generator as is, unfortunately, is lazy. So another thing that's so important is I don't care how tempting it is. I don't care. Do not use trademarks. Do not do anything with Disney. Do not do anything with Barbie. I know these things can make you a lot of money in the beginning, but if your shop gets shut down, or worse, if you get sued, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Look for trademarks in every design that you do. I can tell you right off the top of my head, the word wifey is trademarked, and the words mama bear are trademarked. Trust me, you can look it up. If you use them, you might not get caught, but why take that risk for a couple dollars? This is something you're building for your future. You're building this to make yourself successful, and this is your career. And if you can look at it like your career, then you're going to behave like that. If you went into a 9-to-5 job and you plagiarized some work, you're going to lose your job. So look at it like this. This isn't just something to do just because you heard it's easy. It's not easy if you do it the right way. So keep that in mind. So I mentioned researching, and again, that's very important. There's a lot of really nice research websites out there. I use Everbee, I use Insight Factory, and I will link those down below. I can give you a full list of all the tools I use, because you have to put money into yourself to be successful. In the beginning, there's a lot of free. You can use Canva for free. You can use Kittl for free. You can use a lot of these things for free if you want to just learn how to do it. But eventually, if you want to get the full success out of it, you need to pay and invest in yourself and in your business and use that. The other thing I want to say is don't reinvent the wheel. If you see that there's a phrase that is trending, if you see that there's a design style that's trending and you've researched it and you think, okay, I can do that. Number one, I mentioned, do not copy somebody else. But the other thing is, you don't have to add extra words in there. If it's a phrase that's trending, people are looking for that. But make it your own. How do you do that? Use different fonts. Maybe try a different color. Maybe put it on a different shirt or sweatshirt. There's so many things that you can do to stand out from other people. Think outside the box. If you don't have hours a day or a week to dedicate to this, then spend however much time you have on one design. Because if you have one design in your shop that's a bestseller, that's amazing. So really, really put a lot of thought into this. I'm telling you, I've watched video after video that I've learned so much from. In my first video in this series, I listed all of the creators that I watched that I learned so much from. And I'm telling you, everybody kind of has their own spin on things. Watch, spend time. If you're at work and you can do it, put your headphones in and just listen and absorb and learn, because that is the only way that you are going to really be successful. There are certain things about every website. There are certain things about every creator that are different, and you really want to explore all of these things. So, the very final thing that I want to say in this video, and then I just want to say this: I am not an expert, but I have learned so much about how to use different apps and different programs and different design websites that I would love to teach you how to do that. So if you want to learn how to use Kittl, if you want to learn how to use Canva, if you are interested in and you haven't even started doing print on demand and you want to know how to better use Printify, which again is the one that I use. I've used others, but Printify is my favorite. I would love to make videos giving you step-by-step instructions. And if you want to just leave me a comment of what you are struggling with, of what you want some help with. Another thing I'd love to do a series on is helping people redesign a shirt that they love it, but it's just not selling. So maybe we could, you could send me a comment and I could take your design and redo it, kind of tweak it a little bit, and then you can kind of see what I would have done on that design. And who knows, maybe it will be your next bestseller, but it would be my pleasure to do that. My heart is to teach people. My heart is to have a community, and I hope that you will join me in that. But the last thing that I want to say that has really helped me a lot, and has I've actually heard other people say this, is always say yes when someone asks if you can customize something. Even if you don't have that turned on in your store that you're willing to customize, if somebody wants you to add a name on a shirt, or anything that you are physically, mentally able to create, then say yes. If it's a sweatshirt and somebody wants you to put the kid's name on the sleeve, by all means, say yes. You will get repeat customers, I promise you, from that. Whether they share your name with their friends and say, oh my gosh, I met this amazing Etsy seller that is willing to customize this, or whether they come back for another gift. I've had that happen time and time again. So that is so important. I know I threw a lot of information out there. I got a lot that I want to share, a lot that I want to teach, but again, just send me comments, because it helps me to kind of focus in a little bit to be able to make specific videos on specific topics. I hope that you did learn a little bit about something in this video. I hope that it sparked some ideas. I hope that maybe there were some things that maybe you are doing a little different that you could change in your shop. So let's be successful together. Please comment, please like and share and subscribe. I would love it. I really want to build my community here, and let's do this together. Thanks.